What is a hash? If you mine Bitcoin, the term hash is everywhere. For example, hash rate, hash price, terahash, exahash, etc. There was even Hashcash, which inspired the creation of Bitcoin. Hash is important because it describes machine efficiency, profitability, and network security. You have likely heard the surface-level explanation of a hash as a complex computer guess at a particular combination. This is true at a rudimentary level, but let's expand. Bitcoin uses hashing to generate addresses, provide proof of work, and sign transactions. If you believe Bitcoin will change money as we know it, understanding how these work will increase your confidence as a network participant. Here are the brass tacks. Satoshi was a hash and cryptography fanatic. A hash is the output of a hash function. It is a mathematical function like y equals mx plus b, except far more interesting. Baking a cake is a good analogy. The input is flour, sugar, and eggs. The function is the transformation of the ingredients with mixing, baking, etc. The output is the finished cake. The big idea here is an input that passes through the hash function and produces an output. The input could be any message. The output is the hash of the message. When you see a mining machine runs 200 terahashes per second, this is 1 trillion hashes per second, or 1 trillion input attempts. What makes a hash function cryptographic? 1. It has to be computationally capable of converting input to a hash output. 2. It has to be computationally infeasible to guess the input based off the output. 3. The input must determine the hash output. Hello will always return the same output. 4. Each hash must be unique. Hello will be an entirely different hash output. 5. It should be computationally infeasible to find two inputs that produce the same hash output. For context, Bitcoin hashing uses SHA-256, which is a secure hash algorithm with 256 bits. SHA-256 is not just used in Bitcoin. It is a global cybersecurity standard. Proof of work is one example of how a miner uses hashing. It is how a miner proves they completed the work to find a block. This is done by taking a hash of the block header, which contains information about the software version, a timestamp, and the previous block's winning hash. This is also what makes Bitcoin transactions a chain. Each block of transactions is connected to the previous. This prevents the transaction history from changing. If a previous block is altered, so is the hash and the hash of all the blocks coming after. The longest chain is always the truth because it contains the most proof of work. Remember, for a hash to be cryptographic, it should be impossible to determine the input based on the hash output. The most efficient way would be to guess and check, which would be insane because it would be a needle hash in a stack of 2 to the 256 power hashes, or 1 in 115 quadrivigintillion. To learn more about Bitcoin mining, visit simplemining.io.